afternoon, everybody, and welcome to a sunny Stutler Bowl here in Greenwood Village, Colorado. The Eaglecrest Raptors can do what no other team has done in the short history of their high school today by beating the Littleton Lions. They would go undefeated. They're already the guaranteed #1 seed from the Continental Metro League and into Colorado State 5A class playoffs. But of course, they would like to complete the perfect season. The task before them, though, the Littleton Lions, a fairly formidable team. They have a great quarterback. Of course, the Raptors will counter with a couple of great running backs, Terrell Cameron and Damian Brown. And we are just about set to get things underway here. Jason Rogers will tee it up. The Lions will be wearing the gray colored jersey pants and the white jerseys. Of course, the Raptors in their black jerseys and black pants. And you want to have a good game today because that's your springboard into the playoffs. And I'm sure that's what Coach Ron Peterson has stressed to his team. They don't want a weak outing today. And we're underway. Rogers puts the big foot into it. And Littleton will take it at the 5. They return man across the 20 up to the 30. Still on his feet, 35, all the way out to the 40. He's finally tackled down there by number 21, Jamie Napke. And Jasper Armstrong there along as well. Nice return, though, and that sets up the Littleton Lions. First down and 10 at their own 41-yard line. And that's where Littleton will take over. The Raptor defense ready to get things underway now. And they hand it off up the middle. Good play shooting in there, number 79 for the Raptors. That's Garen Shelton. And Shelton shooting in from the defensive line spot and tripling up the Littleton running back. And he might have got to, say, the original line of scrimmage. I think he lost a little bit, actually. He did. He lost about 2 yards. So that'll bring down up a second down and about 11 now. Littleton goes to their spread set, 3 wide receivers up to the top. And they want to go that way, and they send it down there. Receiver caught the ball, and then it popped loose. Napke there on the coverage. Flag comes flying in. And there, I think, are going to say Napke was there a little bit early. But I sure didn't see it. Looked like good defense to me. And we will wait on the official signal now. And the Raptors are moving back like it was called on them, so we're going to assume they know what they're doing. So the ball goes all the way to the Raptor 44-yard line on the pass interference penalty by Jamie Napke. And it looked like good coverage to me, but they say the senior 5'7", 170-pound defensive back was there early. So now Littleton goes into the shotgun formation. They've got wideouts all over the place. Big blitz, and still trying to elude the pressure. Now he sends it downfield. He's got a receiver caught at the 40. And number 79, Garen Shelton, all the way downfield for the tackle. But Lance Gillett and Travis Noble blitzing right up the gut, put the big pressure on. He was able to elude it and scrambled away to find a receiver downfield. And Jamie Kanapke over in the area as well. So the Littleton Lions, as I mentioned, a fairly potent offensive team. And they go back to their wide spread set again this time. This time they hand it up the middle, out over the corner, finally pulled down by number 22 for the Raptors. That's Courtney McHugh, picked up maybe 1 yard.
Casey Lafferty on the carry for the Lions.
The Littleton quarterback earlier in the season, a game against Greeley Central, set a state all-time passing record. He had over 400 yards on about 60-some attempts. So when they want to throw the ball, they certainly can do it. They go 2 wides, the bottom single back in the backfield, kind of a spro-pred set here. And they hand it off again to Lafferty. Lafferty going nowhere. Bo Rogers coming up. Gets big support from Lance Gillett, Jasper Armstrong, and number 51, Kevin Widmer. And he picked up maybe 1 down to, say, the 33-yard line. A little chilly this morning, but the weather is clear. All the snow has melted off the field, and it looks to be a fast track for today's ball game. Probably a good thing, as I expect maybe 50 or 60 points to be scored today, as both these teams are certainly capable of those numbers. Run play action now, and they send it downfield. Receiver had it and dropped it. Rogers over on the coverage, number 33, Greg Cutlip, had the pressure and maybe made him throw a little bit early, but no excuse. Right out of the hands of the receiver. So back to the 33-yard line goes the ball on the incomplete, and the Lions will try it again. Eaglecrest trying to send a lot of pressure, it appears, blitzing right up the middle and trying to get things done that way to contain this high-powered Littleton offense. Littleton sends a man in motion now, back in the shotgun formation. And he's back looking pass, has a receiver, sends it down there. It's picked off. Jamie Kanapke going the other way to the 40 out of midfield. 45 finally ridden out of bounds. And Jamie Kanapke just stepped right in front of that pass, picked it off, and then a huge return all the way back to the 45. And the Raptors are fired up. You saw Coach Ron Peterson even getting in there to congratulate Kanapke. And that is where the Raptors will take over now. First down and 10 at the Littleton 43-yard line. Raptor formation. They hand it off to number 10. Brown to the corner, 40 out to the 35. And Damian Brown doing what he does well, running the old pigskin. And this young team has really shown itself to be the top-rated offense in 5A for sure, and quite possibly one of the better offenses in the state regardless of classification. Hedrick under center now. Quick pitch out to Brown. Brown has lead blockers. Gets to the 40, up to the 35, turns it up to near the 30. They say he stepped out right at the 31-yard line. And that will be close to the, and that is a first down now. They signal for the first down. Jason McQueen comes into the ball game with the play, and then he'll split out to the bottom of your screen, and then they'll go with the Raptor backfield of Sovereign, Brown, and Terrell Cameron. Hedrick now hands it off to Brown. Brown up the middle, picks up a couple. Tough running for Brown as he gets it down to the Lion 28-yard line. And if things remain the way they are, the Eaglecrest Raptors will face the Golden High Demons sometime next week in the first round of the Colorado State 5A classification football playoffs. And I believe that game will be here at the Stutler Bowl. Jason Sovereign on the quick hitter up the middle, all the way down to the 13-yard line. And that's what the Raptors do so well. They get it ball out to the corner with Damian Brown, and then they do one of two things. They hand it off to the first man through the hole, Jason Sovereign, or they run that counter play, with Terrell Cameron coming around on the counter. And you have to account for each one of those guys because they are certainly capable of putting up some big numbers. Hedrick now really set his team up now as they're all the way down to the 13. Damian Brown, there's that counter I was talking about. Terrell Cameron banging it hard down to the 5-yard line. And you got to love the way this Eaglecrest offense sets things up. They hammer it and hammer it and hammer it outside with Damian Brown, and then they bring it back with that counter play. And you can coach high school kids as much as you want. Once they get on the field, sometimes the adrenaline, their emotions take over, and they go after the first thing they see. But boy, that counter play coming around with Terrell Cameron has been an effective weapon for the Raptors this year. Hedrick now gets the snap, hands it off to Brown. Brown's going to get outside. Brown into score. Damian Brown scooting around to the outside. And we are about halfway through the first quarter. And the Eaglecrest Raptors are up 6-0. Damian Brown doing a little celebrating as he comes off the field. And that right there is textbook Raptor football. That's what Coach Ron Peterson has done all year.
Hey.
And that's exactly what he wanted to do. Jason Rogers now with the PAT. And of course, Mr. Automatic, Jason Rogers, adds it. And it's 7-0, the Eaglecrest Raptors. So the Littleton deep men will wait back on the 5 and 10-yard lines respectively. And Jason Rogers sends a high kick down there, good distance, a trail into the end zone, and that will be a touchback for the Raptors. Now, of course, Littleton playing for a lot today. They need to win today to qualify for the playoffs. Hinckley beat Littleton, but Eaglecrest beat Hinckley. So if Littleton can knock off the Raptors, the Lions are in and the T-Birds stay home. But of course, if they lose, they're out, and the T-Birds are the number 2 seed from the Continental Metro League. So the ball at the 20-yard line now. Lions hand it up the middle, spins by one tackler, gets a good gain. Finally pulled down by Trey Miller and Bo Rogers. And a pickup of 10. Good for the first down as the ball just outside the 30-yard line. So first down and 10 for the Lions. And the Lions, as I mentioned, throw the ball a lot, but they're getting most of their yardage right now running it. Now they go to the shotgun formation, spread wideouts all over the place. And good pressure. Kevin Widmer sends a rainbow down there. Incomplete, no receiver in the area. Jamie Kanapke, the only player there. Flag on the play. And I believe you're going to have illegal procedure against the Lions. But Kevin Widmer coming right up. And he really put some pressure on the Littleton quarterback. And that's what it is. Illegal motion. So that'll bring back 5 yards. 25-yard line will be the line of scrimmage. It will be second down now and 15. And the Lions will come right back in the same formation. This time abandoning the shotgun, they'll go under center. Gets the snap back, looking pass, has a receiver over there. It's caught out to near midfield. Still on his feet, Jamie Napke down there along with Trey Miller. Bo Rogers in the area, and they finally haul him down, but not before he rumbles all the way down to the 35-yard line. And that's Lewis for Littleton as he bangs the ball all the way down to the 35. Just a quick slant ball right on the money, hit him on the stride, and he was gone. No catching him until he got all the way down to the Raptor 35-yard line. So Littleton goes back to the shotgun set. Back to receive the snap. Widmer, good pressure again. Eludes it, and he's not going to get away. Sends it down there. Travis Noble had a play on it. Might have picked it off. And a lot of people here at the stadium want an intentional grounding call. And perhaps rightly so. There didn't appear to be a white shirt in the vicinity. Travis Noble, as I mentioned, had a play on it. But the pass goes incomplete. Well, now they maybe be calling the intentional groundings. They move the ball all the way back to the 48. I didn't ever see the signal. In fact, I never saw the flag, to be quite honest. And I don't see, we're not going to get a signal from the official now. But a few of those Raptor fans may have gotten their wish. So the ball all the way back to the Raptor 48-yard line. And the Littletons come out, Lions come out in their 3 wide, 1 back set, and they run the ball, this time coming back the other way. And Widmer, the first Raptor there, and Jasper Armstrong, Alfred Cola, Travis Noble, Bo Rogers. Heck, give it a credit to the entire Raptor D on the tackle for that one. So it picks up about 5 yards on that. The ball at the Raptor 43-yard line. And they go back to the spread set. Shotgun snap a little low. He handles it. Pressure again from the outside. Sends the ball down there. Incomplete. Let me tell you what, Jasper Armstrong and Kevin Widmer had a pincher movement on. And they were really going to lay into the quarterback. He got it just a little bit off just before they got there. And so the Raptors now will wait back for the punt. Littleton will punt from their own 45-yard line. Low snap, can't handle. Now he gets it up. Off, nice spiraling kick. Good hang time. Coverage should be there. It's going to hit at about the 8-yard line, 9-yard line, and roll out of bounds. So the Raptors will start, but they'll be deep in their own territory at the 9. And now they come back with a counter. Terrell Cameron popped right away. Didn't have a chance to go anywhere. And that time the Lions had the counter play pretty well sniffed out.
Tackle made by number 34, Sean Ilar, and number 70, Mike Newell.
So you get a look at that Lion defense there. Pretty healthy unit there. Good size on their side of the ball. Bryce Hedrick back to pass, rolling away from pressure, sends it down. There's got a receiver. Oh, and I tell you what, Mark Moon, great job going up for that ball and almost hauled it in. Did a good job of tipping it away from the defender, though, and it goes incomplete. And that'll bring up 2nd down and 10 now, as the ball right at the 10-yard line. So maybe call it 3rd down and about 9.5. They picked up about a half-yard on the counter play to Terrell Cameron. Then, of course, the incomplete pass on 2nd down. So J.C. McQueen will be the wide to the bottom Raptor backfield. Hedrick under center now, and they bring the counter the other way. That's Terrell Cameron. Good gain. He banged it out near the 20-yard line. They give him credit to the 18, so he picked up about 8 yards. And the ball will be about a yard short, 4th down and 1. I wouldn't imagine this much time left to go in the ball game. The Raptors will be going for it, and they send on the punting unit, I see. So Bryce Hedrick will be back to punt the ball. He'll wait at about his own 7-yard line. And the Raptors, I believe, jumped off sides. Maybe moved a little bit early. And that's a big penalty here, because that'll move it back 5 yards, and Hedrick will be trying to punt from his 2 or 3 yard line. And I would imagine at this point the Lions will just load it up, put 10 guys up on the line, only 1 man back, and really bring the heat. Hedrick, a pretty good punter, but the Lions do put a lot up there. Now they bring the heat. No, they run the fake punt to Bo Rogers, and the ball goes incomplete out to the 20. That's an unusual call there. The ball back at your own 16-yard line, 13-yard line, and you run the fake punt there. So an unusual call by the Eaglecrest coaching staff, and the ball goes over to Littleton on downs, and they are in business, and I mean business, as they are deep in Raptor territory at the 13-yard line. And as high-powered an offense as the Lions have, they score points by the bushel, and it seems strange to give them the ball here. They run option that way. Great play, number 22 over there, Courtney McHugh. And then he got good support by the rest of the Raptors, and that's his job. He's got the pitch man, and wherever the pitch man goes, he goes with him. I mean, if the pitch man goes to get a Coke, Courtney McHugh's going to go with him. So they covered the quarterback well, and Courtney McHugh stuck with the pitch man. And when that trail back came and got the pitch, McHugh was right there to put the leather on him, and he moved the ball back. They lost about 2 yards on that as the ball goes back to the 15. Littleton wants to pass, now sends a rainbow over there, got a receiver, and Jamie Kanapke, his 2nd interception of the day, picks it off in the end zone. So Littleton self-destructing now, as they have thrown 2 interceptions now, both of them to Jamie Kanapke. And the gamble pays off for the Raptors as they run the fake punt, and nothing bad comes of it, and they'll get the ball back at the 20-yard line now. And the Lions have to be feeling a little bit snake bit here in the early going at the Stutler Bowl. Hedrick now hands it off to Terrell Cameron on the counter again, and then once the Lions had that again figured out pretty well. Sean Vilar, the tackler for the Lions there, and he was not fooled at all as they brought Terrell Cameron around on the counter. He was right there to greet him. So the Raptors lose about 2 yards, and now they'll bring Damian Brown up the middle, and he'll get pulled down, really more or less tripped up by all the people lying on the ground, not so much tackled. He picks up about 2 yards from the 18 up to about about 3 yards from the 18 up to the 21. But it'll still be 3rd down and 9 for the Raptors at their 21. And the Raptors have not looked at the peak of their game so far today either. And now they put the ball on the carpet to boot. Littleton saying it's their ball, and the guys in the striped shirts agree. Ball recovered by Weiler. And just like that, we've had more turnovers in this game than I can remember in a number of Eaglecrest games so far this season. Jamie Kanapke with the 2 interceptions, and then the Raptors putting the ball on the carpet, something they have not done much of this year. They really control the ball, really take care of it. But the fumble there, and the Lions have the ball at the Raptor 23. They go right upstairs right away. Jasper Armstrong in on the blitz, though, and the sack. And Jasper Armstrong does his version of the sack dance. And he shows some pretty good moves there. But Jasper Armstrong, one of the quicker kids on that D line, just got in there, and the Littleton quarterback had nowhere to go. So I guess when your defense plays like this, you can afford to make some of those mistakes on offense, but you hate to give up the ball in that situation. So the sack moves the ball all the way back to the 30-yard line for the Lions, and they're going up top again. Slant across the middle, handled. Kanapke there on the tackle, along with Bo Rogers. Picked up about 15 yards, all the way down to the 15-yard line. And that should be good for a Lion first down. And they're going to be, they're going to be about 3 yards short. And the Lions will talk things over. They trail 7-0. So the Lions have hopefully figured things out. And they are going to run the keeper up the middle. And nothing doing, pulled down from behind.
Tackle made by number 3,
Trey Miller there on the play. But they picked up the first down on the quarterback keeper. Miller coming over from his defensive back position to haul down the quarterback. And that'll do it for the first quarter here at the Stutler Bowl. The Eaglecrest Raptors have a 7-0 lead over the Littleton Lions. So we move down to the south end of the field now, and the Lions will have first down at the Raptor 11-yard line. And they come in their spread formation again. The Raptors may have jumped off sides there. Let's see if they were drawn. So the offsides penalty moves the ball all the way down to the Raptor 5-yard line. Pass across the middle, picked off again. This time it's Lance Gillett. Gillett still on his feet, and he pulled down back at the 27-yard line. So 3 interceptions now by Littleton, 2 of them to Jamie Kanapke and 1 to Lance Gillett, and he does his interception dance. So Jasper Armstrong has a sack dance, and Lance Gillett has an interception dance. And the Eaglecrest Raptor defense right now has dodged the big bullets of the Littleton Lions, and the Lions self-destructing now. 3 trips down inside the Raptor 20, and all 3 times come up blank. They run the screen pass to Jason Sovereign. Sovereign trying to get out of the way of a couple of his own players, and he steps out of bounds at the 30-yard line. Pick up a 4, 2nd down and 6 now. But the Eaglecrest Raptors, you are not going to get that many chances with this Raptor team. And 3 times down inside the 20, and the Lions still have the goose egg on their side of the scoreboard. And that is not what you want to do. So Bryce Hedrick now under center. The Raptors set on D, wants to pass, got a receiver down there. He didn't turn around for it. Jason McQueen would have had a good chance to haul in that reception, but he was blocking the receiver and never turned around. So McQueen, the intended receiver, the ball goes incomplete, and it'll bring up 3rd down now and 6 as they send in fresh talent into the ball game. That's number 82, Matt Salmons. And Salmons, the first appearance this afternoon into the ball game. Hedrick now runs play action. Jason Sovereign, great play, still on his feet, out across midfield, tries to cut it inside to the 40-yard line. And Bryce Hedrick, let me tell you what, did a great job. Give Jason Sovereign a lot of credit there. He took the handoff from Hedricks and then just stopped like he didn't have the ball, and then Hedricks went ahead and carried out his motion to the right side, and then Sovereign waited for a hole to open up and took off all the way down to the Littleton 40-yard line. And I think Coach Ron Peterson is trying to give some of his potential playoff opponents some things to think about, as we've seen some new wrinkles in this Raptor offense. This wrinkle, however, going nowhere. Damian Brown got the quick pitch, and they were really keying on him. And they moved the ball all the way back to the 45-yard line. And that may account for some of the success Jason Sovereign's had running the ball so far this afternoon, is the Lions really keen on the Damian Brown. And so Sovereign then not accounted for perhaps as much, and he's had some really nice gains so far today. Hedrick now runs the counter. Terrell Cameron coming around the other way. Nice spin move, picks up another 5, breaks it outside across the 30, 25, pushes all the way to the 20. And Terrell Cameron just doing a great job. I don't know if you can see that, but he was almost pushing the Littleton defender off of him as he was struggling ahead for more yardage. And if you'll notice one other thing, his hand, the ball was in his outside hand, and it was perfectly taken care of. And that's just good coaching, as these Raptors really, as I mentioned, take good care of the ball. They don't fumble a lot. Hedrick now runs it Sovereign up the middle. Sovereign gets tripped up, picked up a couple down to, say, the 16-yard line. So the Raptors send 2 wides now, top and bottom. Raptor formation behind Hedrick. And Hedrick hands it off up the middle. And Sovereign picks up a couple, say, down to the 14-yard line. And it's little things like having the ball in the right hand and having your fingers and the grip of your hand right over the tip of the ball, protecting it, that makes championship teams. Those are the things coaches stress. And that's what the Raptors do. And they are setting up right now at 9-0. And of course, we'd like to make it the perfect 10-0 season this year. Hedrick steps up, avoids pressure, right across, drills a bullet to Jason McQueen. And McQueen gets it all the way down to the 2-3-yard line. Let's see where they set the ball down at, right at the 3-yard line. Bryce Hedrick, though, felt the pressure coming, stepped up, got that extra second or two, and delivered the rocket down to Jason McQueen. So right now, the Eaglecrest Raptors pretty much having their way with the Littleton Lions, doing what they wish at this point. And Bryce Hedrick's going to keep it. He's going to be close. No signal yet from the official. And they're going to say he is just short. Boy, and look at that. The tip of the ball is resting right on the goal line, so he just barely missed it as he picked up 2 3/4 of a yard and just inches short of the touchdown. Into the ball game comes number 35, Dan Duran, with the play, and he will give Sovereign a break at the fullback position and line up right behind Hedrick. And now Hedrick will run the keeper, and that time he should be in for the touchdown. The officials umpile the bodies. Still no signal. Well, we never got an official touchdown signal, but they moved the ball back to the 2-yard line, which is, of course, where the Raptors will try the PAT. And you might as well go ahead and put it up on the board. Jason Rogers is the man with the golden foot. He splits the pipes and puts the Raptors up 14-0 over the Littleton Lions. Jason Rogers, another one of the great stories on this Raptor team. 6'3", 200 pounds, and he's a kicker. One of the bigger kids on the team. And that is a great job. Kevin Widmer just hustling downfield and tripping up the Littleton receiver. But Jason Rogers, as I was saying, pretty much automatic. He's missed an extra point this year. I don't believe I remember it. And I would like to see how many points he scored, actually, because as many points as this Raptor team scores, and then he almost always adds the point after. That's a valuable part of high school football, too, because you look at a lot of high school scores, an awful lot of games won by 1 or 2 points, so those PATs are crucial. Littleton back to pass. Widmer coming pressure from the outside, avoids it. Jamie Kanapke over there, good coverage. Ball sails out of bounds, really never had a chance on it. So this Raptor defense kind of been maligned a little bit this year. A lot of people have said the knock on Eaglecrest is the fact that they play great offense and not a lot of defense. But when your team scores the 30 and 40 points per game, you don't have to play fantastic defense to win a lot of ball games. And of course, that's what they've done. This time they bring the draw back across the 20, 25, 27. Travis Noble, and I believe that was Bo Rogers or Trey Miller. I couldn't see if it was a 3 or 8 over there on the tackle. And they give the official credit to Trey Miller. So 3rd down and 2 for the Littleton Lions. And they come out looking like they're gonna pass. And they will not go to the shotgun this time. He will go under center. And they run it up the middle, and I think they stopped him. Lance Gillett there like a rock, and actually pushed him back. We'll see where they give him forward motion to. Well, they give him a generous spot. I can't believe that's the spot they're going to give him. All the way out to the 29-yard line. Holy cow, Lance Gillett stopped him, but they still hold him short. 4th down and 1. The ball really should have been back farther than that. Nice punt there again, high spiraling kick down to Jamie Kanapke at the 35, 26-yard line. Kanapke makes a heads-up play there. Can't handle the punt all that well, and he just falls on it rather than compound the mistake by trying to return it. Hedrick rolls out, nice block there to give him some time to spring it to the outside, and he goes up top with one of the Littleton D-backs, and he wins that battle as he's able to push the ball out across the 30-yard line. Tell you what, number 65, Aaron Wagner, made that play possible. It's a planned rollout, and Wagner rolls out with the quarterback and then turns around and tries to pick up whatever garbage is coming the other way. And I didn't catch the number of the Littleton player that he tattooed, but he put a pancake block on him that sprung Bryce Hedrick out to the outside, and he was able to pick up 4 yards on that play. Now they come back with Damian Brown across to the 32. And I tell you what, the Littleton Lions really keen on Damian Brown today, as he's not able to go anywhere. And you may see more of that as the Raptors advance through the playoffs, and I'm rather confident that they will advance through the playoffs, that people will really be keen on Damian Brown. But when you've got great backs like Jason Sovereign and Terrell Cameron, and then Dan Duran, of course, who can come into play. Nathan Szymanski's had some good success running the ball in cleanup time for the Raptors. This time it's Damian Brown, and again, only picking up a couple, as 2 and 3 Lions are on him right away. And I'm sure that's what the Littleton coaching staff has put down as their #1 defensive goal, is shutting down Damian Brown. But if you concentrate on Brown, you're really missing the point, as this Raptor offense, excuse me, highly mobile, and they're also highly, I'm not exactly sure what word I'm looking for here. They spread the ball around a lot. They're multifaceted is what I'm trying to say, as they really get the ball to about, excuse me, 5 or 6 different players who are all key players on this Raptor squad.
There you go, thank you.
So Hedrick now will punt. End over end kick. And he touched that ball. Oh boy, Littleton really dodged a bullet there. Bo Rogers was down there. The Littleton kid touched it and then couldn't find the handle. And Bo Rogers was going like a missile right after the white shirt and didn't see the ball there. But if he had been able to break down and take a look at that, he might have dived on that ball and recovered it. But as it stands, the ball at the 35-yard line now. And the Lions first down and 10. And they come right back with their spread offense. Back to pass. Got some time, sends it across there on the slant route. Travis Noble there on the tackle. And Zach Butner for Littleton. Of course, the quarterback, the trigger man on this Lion offense. And Butner kind of played in the shadow of Ryan Clement this year. Of course, the Mullen all-everything quarterback finished his prep career last night as the Mustangs lost an OT to Boulder. But Zach Butner's had a great career. And another pickoff. This time, it's number 22, Courtney McHugh. So that is 4 interceptions for Mr. Butner. And perhaps Zach Butner wishes I would quit singing his praises, as he's now thrown 4 interceptions. And McHugh gets his first one of the day. So Jamie Kanapke has 2 interceptions, Lance Gillett has 1, and Courtney McHugh tallies 1 on his side. And the Raptors now back in business with the ball on their own 31-yard line. And the Lions really going nowhere offensively. And now they run the counter the other way. Terrell Cameron across the 40, 45, 46, 47-yard line. And that's the point I was just trying to make, that if you focus on Damian Brown, they're really going to hurt you with the counter play with Terrell Cameron, or they can run that first man through the hole with Jason Sovereign, the fullback, coming through. And both of those guys are capable ball carriers. So you really cannot focus on one aspect of this Raptor team. Quick pitch out to Brown. This time Brown has blockers out across 45-yard line, midfield to the 45. And he had a couple of blockers out there leading for him. And he gets the ball down to the 45-yard line. So the Raptor penalty moves the ball back. Terrell Cameron coming back on the counter again. Gets it back into the Lion territory at the 49. Uh-oh. Terrell Cameron comes up hobbling a little bit. Trying to walk it off, but he's still stepping pretty gingerly on that. Appears to be his left leg. He goes back to the huddle. We'll have to keep an eye on that. That would be a big blow to the Raptors if Terrell Cameron not able to go the rest of the ball game. Hedrick now under center. Now they run the counter right back to Terrell Cameron. Cameron gets it ahead to the 43-yard line. So if that wheel is bothering him, it didn't show there. He's a little slow getting up off the turf again. And now I think he's signaling to the sideline saying he's got to take a rest and have that ankle looked at. But that tells the story right there. You look at the Littleton defensive huddle, and about 4 or 5 of those kids have their heads down, sucking wind. And the Raptors are really running right over them now. And they are definitely winning the battle of the psyches. And they also are winning the battle of the yardage marker there, as they got the first down by about a half a length of the football.
First and 10, Raptors from the Littleton 43.
So the ball at the 43-yard line, first down and 10. Bryce Hedrick will lead his Raptor offensive unit up to the line there. That's Jason McQueen split out to the bottom of your screen. And Terrell Cameron back into the ball game now. Brown and Sovereign the rest of the backfield. And Hedrick steps up to avoid some pressure. Now he's going to keep it. He's going to run. Still on his feet to the 35. Breaks it out across 30 down to the 20. Cuts it inside all the way down to the 11-yard line. And Damian Brown gave him a good block on the backside to hold off the pressure as long as he could. And then you see Owen Bradshaw, the center on that Raptor team, right down there, just like a good center, sticking with his quarterback, protecting him as long as he can. But you see the yellow hanky there, and they've got a hold on the Raptors. So the ball goes back to the 47-yard line. Hedrick wants to pass. I think he's looking downfield. Got a receiver. This time it's picked off by Littleton. Rob Rosano, the intended receiver. And that's not where Hedrick wanted to go, I don't think. He was looking out to that side like he wanted to dump it off into the left flat. And whatever he saw over there he didn't like, he checked off on that and went to his deep receiver, Rosano, downfield. And the Littleton kid able to go up for it and haul it in. So the Lions finally get their second turnover of the ball game. And they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Shuffle pass up the middle there, going nowhere. Travis Noble there, along with Kerry Phillips and number 79, Darren Shelton. So the shuffle pass, not a bad call there, of course, because it's a pass. If it isn't completed, it just goes incomplete. But the Raptors sniffed it out pretty good. They don't pick up anything. Second down and 10 at the 20 again. Buechner hands it off. Has a gain out to the 30. Finally tackled down there by Trey Miller.
Tackle made by number 3, Trey Miller.
And the Lions go to a hurry-up offense. They come right up and line up on the ball right away. Now they're kind of walking around like they're a little bit confused. And they're going to let the clock expire. And they're going to go to halftime, trailing Eaglecrest 14-0. So the Littleton Lions, trailing 14-0, have to kick the ball off to the Raptors. Damian Brown handles the opening kickoff, hammers it out to the 32-yard line. And the story of the ball game so far has been 4 interceptions, count them 4, by Littleton's highly touted quarterback, Zach Buechner. And the Raptors able to capitalize on him, and they lead 14-0. Remind everybody, this is an amateur sports video production. Eric Robinson along with Matt Cook for today's ball game. Screen pass across the middle. Terrell Cameron, blockers ahead. Gets pulled down at the 43-yard line. Ooh, that looked painful. He got grabbed right by the collar of the shirt, pulled down from behind at the 43-yard line. 43-yard line. But the Raptors hurry up to the line now. Raptor formation. And Damian Brown trying to get it to the outside. And again, you can see 4 and 5 of the white shirts right on him. The Lions really keying on Damian Brown so far today. So the ball will go out to the 46-yard line. So perhaps whatever the Littleton coaching staff said to their team in the locker room has fired them up a little bit. Hedrick now under center. Now they run the counter with Terrell Cameron coming the other way. Cameron hurdles his way across midfield to the 49-yard line. And if his ankle is hurting him, it certainly didn't show it there, as he hurdled one of the Littleton defenders and put the ball into Littleton territory at the 49-yard line. Third down now, and about 2 or 3 for the Raptors. Rob Rosanow into the ball game. Appears to be about 2 yards for the first down for the Raptors. Hedrick leads them up to the line now. Under center, waits on the snap. He's going to roll out with him. Tries to pass, got a receiver down there, and it's caught. Mark Moon, let's see if they give him credit for it. And they do. A nice catch down at the 35-yard line. And I didn't catch the number, but I believe it was number 67, Owen Bradshaw, one of the offensive linemen, did another nice job of laying out and picking off one of the Littleton defenders, giving Hedrick that second or two extra to get that ball away. And they come right back with the counter. Terrell Cameron running through traffic, still on his feet. And you saw him take a quick look back inside to see if there was anything there. Didn't see it and tried to break it outside. And he's still picking up yardage all that time. So the story, as I mentioned, the 4 interceptions by Littleton. Bryce Hedrick, 1 interception today, but by and large has had good time to throw the ball. And if I'm Mr. Hedrick, if I sign a big Division I college scholarship, I'd buy my entire offensive line a steak dinner, because it's those big guys up front that have given him the time to look as good as he has this year. And he certainly has looked to be one of the better quarterbacks, at least that I've seen in the Aurora area, and most of the Denver schools I've had a look at this year as well. And Bryce Hedrick certainly throws the ball. Very mature kid, makes good decisions. So the ball down to the 24-yard line. Bryce Hedrick under center now. He's back to pass. Got good time going to the end zone. Got a receiver down there. And a beautiful over-the-shoulder catch by Terrell Cameron. Terrell Cameron just ran by the Littleton defender, stuck with his route, and hauled the ball in over the shoulder for the touchdown. And that is not an easy catch to make, as he was looking back over his shoulder. And that play possible just because Terrell Cameron just kept running. Bryce Hedrick laid the ball out there, and Hedrick and Cameron just ran underneath it. So Jason Rogers on to try the PAT, and he misses it. And I will tell you what, that is the first missed PAT I can remember by Jason Rogers. So Rogers now with a chance to atone for the mixed PAT. Sends the ball down to the 10. Nice return by the Lions all the way out to the 32-yard line. Tackle there by Garen Shelton.
Number 79.
So 32-yard line will be the line of scrimmage. First down and 10 for the Lions. And Buettner back. They hand it off up the middle, picks up a couple. Widmer, the first man there. Travis Noble in on the tackle as well.
Plays good for 2 yards. Tackle made by number 51, Kevin Whitmer.
So the Eaglecrest Raptors appear to have things fairly well in hand as they lead it 20-0 Littleton here in the third quarter. Buettner back to pass, now runs screen pass. Oh, missed tackle there, and he's still on his feet. Gets it outside to the 40-45. Greg Cutlip had a chance to tackle him way back at the, well, back before he had the long gain, let's put it that way. But he missed the tackle, and Littleton able to get it out there for the first down. So the ball is at the 45-yard line, and the Littleton Lions are on the move now. Buettner puts the ball on the ground. I think the Raptors recovered it. That was a broken play all the way. Number 79, Garen Shelton, comes up with the ball, and Buettner got the snap, and I think was trying to hand it off, spun around, ran into one of his own men. Ball popped loose, and Garen Shelton, a heads-up play for the senior, falls on the ball and puts it right back into the hands of that Raptor offense. And that's what happens. Seems to me that good teams get the breaks. Now the officials hold them up short of the line of scrimmage. Now Hedrick, wait a minute now, another fumble going the other way. Let's see. And it appears the Raptors fell on it.
Ball's recovered by quarterback Bryce Hedrick.
Hedrick fell on his own fumble. So that kind of tells you how crazy that ball can bounce sometime. The Raptors get the ball back on a fumble and turn around the very first play and almost fumble it right back to the Lions. But by and large, the Raptors have gotten most of the breaks this year. Of course, a good team, as I mentioned, makes their own breaks. And it seems, too, once you get that confidence level up, the ball bounces your way a lot more, too. Hedrick takes a look at the Littleton D, gets set. Now he takes the snap and hand it off to Damian Brown. Brown spinning ahead to the 34-yard line. And I would think Bryce Hedrick there was taking a look at the Littleton defense. He's got the option to audible out of the play that was called in the huddle if he sees something on defense, and I think he was taking a look at it, but that time they stuck with the play. So McQueen will go up to the top of your screen, and Bryce Hedrick will have the Raptor backfield behind him of Brown, Sovereign, and Cameron in the slot. Littleton showing blitz, and I think they might have broken the neutral zone. So the ball goes down to the 29-yard line after the Littleton penalty. Damian Brown to the outside. Damian Brown, say, down to the 25-yard line. And again, well covered by Littleton. But even when you cover this kid, he picks up 4 and 5 yards as he gets the ball down to the 25-yard line. And Damian Brown, again, only a junior. He's got a whole nother year to come back. But most of his offensive line, unfortunately for Damian Brown, are seniors. So he may well enjoy this year running behind that great offensive line of the Raptors. Hedrick hands it off to Brown. This time Brown stumbles forward for a couple. And of course that offensive line, number 67, it's Owen Bradshaw, number 68, Alfred Cola. And they run the counter again. And this time Terrell Cameron looking for some room. Finally ridden out of bounds there. Then you have number 76, Demetrius Serpes. And number 68, Alfred Cola. Number 65, Aaron Wagner. And number 67, of course, is Owen Bradshaw. So the Raptors get the ball down to the 22-yard line. Can't convert, so they will send Jason Rogers in to attempt the field goal. This will be about a 39-yard attempt. Rogers has the leg for this. Snaps down, good snap. And he drills it. And he puts his Raptors up 23-0 on the Littleton Lions. And the Lions going nowhere in a hurry. They have had their problems so far today. So Jason Rogers misses an extra point, but he also kicks a field goal and has his team up 23-0. And then sends the kick all the way down to the 1-yard line. Littleton has a return. He's got it to the outside, out to the 30. And Damian Brown pulls him down with authority at the 28. So Zach Buechner will try and get his Littleton offense untracked. And on the scoreboard, of course, the clock now the enemy, as we're about halfway through the third quarter. And the score reads 23 goose egg for Eaglecrest. And I don't believe the Raptors have pitched a shutout this year. So I'm sure the defense is looking for that. We got a flag as people were jumping around. And they're going to call it against Eaglecrest. And I have seen more flags this year than in any football season I can remember. Buechner on the keeper. Buechner going nowhere. Jasper Armstrong and Lance Gillett right there.
Play is good for 1 yard.
Temper's getting a little hot down there. Yes. Jasper Armstrong perhaps holding Zach Buechner down a little longer than Mr. Buechner wanted to be held down. But that's what happens when your team's trying to make the playoffs like Buechner's Lions are trying to do. And right now, they are failing in their attempt. Buechner hands it off up the middle. Got a good gain across midfield, still on his feet to the 40, 30, 25, 10, 5, 4, 1, touchdown, Littleton. And the Littleton Lions finally tally on their side of the scoreboard. Casey Lafferty, number 25 for the Lions, with the long run right up the gut. And he had a good lead block by one of the offensive linemen. And then he just got to the outside and turned on the jets as he went by everybody. So Littleton now with a score. And they trail 23-6, PAT yet to come. And it's good, so the score reads 23-7, Eaglecrest. But it's a ball game again at least, as the Lions have plenty of time now. And they will kick it off. You can kind of see that the turf here at Stettler Bowl is starting to show its age. You can see some of those seams down on the field now. I never noticed those before. Damian Brown fakes the reverse, keeps it as he brings it to the 25, 30. Watch out, Damian Brown, 50 midfield. Nobody's going to touch him as he gets it down for the touchdown. And the Raptors, just like that, answer the Littleton long run with one of their own, Damian Brown, and that just showcased the speed that Damian Brown possesses as he ran by everybody. A Littleton man finally had a chance to make the play, and Brown just ran into the end zone, was not going to be denied, and it's 29-7. Eaglecrest, PAT yet to come. Rogers get the snap, and it's I thought perhaps off the block that it would be propelled over the crossbar, but it wasn't. So the score reads 29-7, Eaglecrest. And I may have jinxed Jason Rogers. As I mentioned, he hasn't missed too many PATs this year, and he's missed 2 in this ball game. This time he sends the kick all the way down to the 1, and Trey Miller puts a big-time hit on the Littleton kick return man and stops him at the 19-yard line. Trey Miller, 6 foot even, 173 pounds, but I think they padded that a little bit. But Trey Miller certainly hit him with everything he had that time and stopped him in his tracks at the 19-yard line. So Littleton now will try and answer their answer for the Damian Brown long touchdown run. Buechner going up top right away, got a receiver down there, pulls it in, still on his feet, cross midfield to the 40. Still running 20, 10, and he's going to go down and score. So just like that, holy cow, 13 points for the Littleton Lion on 2 plays, ladies and gentlemen. 1 long run and 1 long pass. And the Raptor defense may have gone to sleep here, but let's hope that's the wake-up call. Unbelievable. An 80-yard scoring pass. And the Lions refusing to go away right now here in the 3rd quarter. And I mentioned how high-powered this offense is for Littleton, and they're showing it right now. So PAT yet to come. We'll see if they, I don't know if they're, and they are talking about going for 2 here. And they come out in their spread set. Buechner, no backs in the backfield with him, sends it down in the end zone. And it's caught for a 2-point conversion. And all of a sudden, this ball game is only 2 touchdowns apart as the Eaglecrest Raptors lead it 29-14. Now they're saying that the Littleton kid pushed off. So we'll see how that affects it. Should just move the ball back and they will get another shot at it, I believe. There's the signal that he pushed off. And I'm not sure what they're debating about. This is a pretty clear cut. Oh, and now I see what they're saying is there was 2 penalties, one on Eaglecrest, one on Littleton. So the penalties offset. And the Lions now huddle by the ball and break out. I thought perhaps they might be attempting the onside kick a little early in the ball game, perhaps for that though. And they send kind of a knuckleball down there. And this time it's handled by Damian Brown. Brown's got blockers. Brown on his feet, rumbling, stumbling forward to the 32-yard line. And the Eaglecrest Raptors will take over there on the 32-yard line after the return by Damian Brown. And this ball game all of a sudden is like a tennis match. If you look at the fans, the head's just going back and forth, as these kids are running up and down the field scoring points. Bryce Hedrick now taking a look at the Eaglecrest, the Lion D, and he might have audibilized there. Yes, he did. He goes to the quick slant, and the ball comes loose. And they're saying the ball was incomplete. So the Raptors catch a break there, as he saw something on the Littleton defense that he thought he could exploit, and he signaled for the quick hitter across the middle to Terrell Cameron. Cameron caught the ball, but then the ball popped loose as he was going down, and they said it was an incomplete as he never had control of it. So 2nd down and 10 now back at the 33-yard line for the Raptors. And they run the counter, coming right back to Terrell Cameron. Cameron outside to the 40, 45, and finally ridden out of bounds. And I do mean ridden. Looked like he was trying to hog tie him there as he got him out of bounds at the 45-yard line. But the pickup good for the Raptor 1st down. And Littleton starting to get a little frustrated now with their inability to stop this Raptor offense. They're not alone though. I don't believe anybody really has stopped this team this year. Certainly not any of the games I've seen. And Damian Brown runs into his own man and still manages to pick up 5 yards out to the 50, where he's pushed out of bounds. So 2nd down now and 5-yard line, 5 yards to go, as the ball right at the midfield stripe here at the Stutler Bowl. Rosano into the ball game now with the play. And we'll see if Bryce Hedrick sees something in that Littleton defense again. Now he doesn't audibilize out of this time, so whatever he saw the first time, he doesn't see it this time. Jason Sovereign stopped and then keeps going forward to the 45. And the Raptors down there pushing and shoving a little bit. Owen Bradshaw thought he got a little something extra, so he gave it right back to the Littleton defender. So the ball right at the 45, and the Raptors so far doing what they want to do on this series. They move the ball, picking up yardage about 5 yards at a time. More importantly, though, they're chewing up the clock. And if they can get a long drive, say 10 or 12 plays, chew up about 5 or 6 minutes, and then go down and score. Terrell Cameron gets stopped in the backfield for a loss back at the 49-yard line. And that'll do it for the 3rd quarter. The Eaglecrest Raptors lead it, but their lead's been cut 29-14. So for the final quarter here, the Raptors will head towards the north end of the field, and Bryce Hedrick will start the 4th quarter with the punt. He waits at the 41-yard line. Good snap. Gets the punt end over end, wobbly affair. Takes a Raptor bounce and then goes the other way down to, say, the 21-yard line. Down there is number 76, Demetrius Serpes, to handle it. Buechner wants to pass now. Ball comes loose and the Raptors get it back. They'll try and get the number of the young man. He's being hugged by one of his teammates, and I can't see who recovered it. Number 33, Courtney McHugh. I'm sorry, check that. Greg Cutlip. The ball popped loose from Buechner, and Cutlip fell right on the ball. So the Raptor offense comes right back on the field, but more importantly, So does the Lion defense, and they have not had much rest today. And they may be getting tired now, and the Raptors may be looking to exploit that. Hedrick under center now, first down and 10 at the 18. They run the counter, Terrell Cameron. Cameron tripped up in the backfield, able to get back to maybe the original line of scrimmage. No gain. Second down and 10 now at the 18-yard line, 19-yard line. And Littleton back on their heels a little bit. They're only 15 points out of this ball game. And the PA announcer gives the credit to a den of Lions. I'm not exactly sure what a group of Raptors would be called. Hedrick under center now, and he runs play action, rolling out, got some time, now he's got some pressure, steps away from it, nice stiff arm, sends it down there, and it's caught. Oh, and the ball comes loose. Rob Rosano had it right in his hands, falling back, and the ball pops loose. So it's a 14-point ball game still. 29 to 15 Eaglecrest. But Rob Rosano could have made it, extended the lead there. He couldn't hang on to it, however. So third down now is a big conversion for the Raptors as they want to get some points while they're down here. Hedrick quick pitch out to Damian Brown. Brown cuts it inside. Brown gets down to the 15. And he's going to be well short of the first down, obviously. But he makes it a shorter field goal attempt. Ball's at the 14, adds 7 for the drop. 21 would be about a 31-yard affair for Jason Rogers. And Rogers will kick out of the hold of Bryce Hedrick. Plenty of leg on that one. And it's no good. Oh boy. Obviously the referee had a better angle on it than we did, but it looked good to me. Buechner now leading the Lions, and they're going to go up the middle, and they're going to find nothing but black shirts. And Bo Rogers, I've talked a lot about this kid this year. He's only a junior, 5'11", 165 pounds, but he just pushed one of the Littleton defenders, one of the big guys too, on the defensive line like he's a rag doll. Bo Rogers takes grief from nobody. So Littleton now with a second down and about 10, I would imagine. Buechner runs play action. He's got to get rid of it. He had pressure on, got a receiver down there. Nice catch, outstretched to the 40, 30, 20, 10, all the way in for the touchdown, Littleton. And that was a beautiful catch. Stretched out all he could. Then he gives the signal for the goal in soccer. He must have been a soccer player in a former life or something. But anyway, a beautiful catch as the ball was way out there, stuck his hands out and just pulled it in by the fingertips and didn't break his stride and tiptoed up the sidelines and all the way in for the touchdown. And just like that, it is a 21-29 ball game, and the Lions are going for two. Buechner runs the pitch out there. He's not going to get it this time. That's Jason McQueen coming up, making a big stick. So Lafferty pulled up short. And the Lions will have to kick it off. And it's going to roll out of bounds there. And Eaglecrest will get the ball at the 35-yard line. And Jason Sovereign across to the 31-yard line.
Play is good for 1 yard. Tackle made by number 67, Dave Huber.
So it's only an 8-point ball game. And Jason McQueen just made the big stop on the 2-point conversion attempt by Littleton brings the call in, and then he splits up to the top. And Hedrick now under center. And they hand it off. Damian Brown. Brown again going nowhere. Stopped right at the 25-yard line. And Brown on the turf. He's not getting up. He's holding his head. Let's see if he's all right. Now he's up. Well, he's a little slow getting up, though. He's a little wobbly. And the officials will take a timeout. Damian Brown will have to come out of the ball game. I just think he got his bell rung pretty good. He got tackled, and then as he was going down, his head snapped against the carpet. And of course, this turf was frozen solid last night, and so I'm sure it's still hard. Hedrick now sends it down there, and it's hauled in. Jason McQueen, I don't know, I checked that, Jason Sovereign. And he makes a nice catch. Not a particularly beautiful ball, but Sovereign makes a good play on it and pulls it in. Let you know that Dan Duran into the ball game to give Damian Brown the chance on the sideline to get his head back together, I suppose. Terrell Cameron goes the tailback slot, and Sovereign takes over Cameron's slot at the slot back position. And Terrell Cameron picks up about a yard and hurdles the bench.
Play was good for 3 yards.
And picks up, say, about 3 yards on that. Brings up second down and 7 at the 37-yard line. So this Littleton defense has certainly spent a lot of time on the field so far today. Rob Rosano into the ball game with the play. And Damian Brown still out. The trainers are looking at him. I hope it's nothing serious. That would be a big blow for the Raptors. Hedrick now they run the counter up the middle. Dan Duran, big gainer, all the way down to the 10-yard line, 15-yard line. And another great job just hiding that ball. Dan Duran, of course, the fullback, filling in where Jason Sovereign normally would be. They hand it off to him. He stops, actually physically stops. And as the defense is rushing by him, then he heads upfield. So a really good play there as he runs the deception quite nicely and then makes a big gain on it to boot. All the way down to the 16-yard line. So the Raptors knocking on the door now. Hedrick hands it up the middle. Terrell Cameron picks up a couple down to the 13-yard line. Pickup of about 3. Bring up second down and 7 now. The Littleton Lions looking tired now. See a lot of those kids with their heads down, and they are breathing hard. Of course, they've been on the field an awful long time today, and that's tough because you really have to go all out every single time. Rosano the only wide up to the top. Hedrick runs it again to Dan Duran up the middle, and Duran picks up a couple before he's pushed back. And that's another great mark of championship teams, and that I believe Eaglecrest has the potential to be a championship team, is when one part of the team goes out, even if it's a big part like a Damian Brown, you've got more than capable backups like a Dan Duran, and you don't miss too much between your 1 and 2 guys. And actually, with Duran in the ball game, you pick up a little extra weight-wise. Hedrick now under center. And we have a whistle. They're going to say, I believe they're going to say Eaglecrest jumped a little bit, and they do. No, they say it took too much time, delay a game. So the delay a game penalty moves it all the way back to the 16 and makes this third down even more important. Hedrick hands it off to Terrell Cameron. Terrell picks up a couple. Not enough for the first down, obviously.
Play was good for 1 yard.
And Jason Rogers and his golden toe will come into the ball game and try and pad this 29-21 lead.
Jason Rogers to attempt the field goal.
Snap looks good. And a low. And no good.
No good. Lions will take over the ball on Littleton.
So the score will stand 29-21. Jason Rogers missed 2 field goals plus a PAT today. Zach Butner going up top right away. And the ball pulled loose. Courtney McHugh, great play. But he's rolling around on the turf a little bit back there. And I would imagine you're going to see Butner going up top here quite a bit now as we are into the 4th quarter. And the Lions trail 29-21. They go back to their spread set. Butner back in the shotgun, has the snap. Now he sends it downfield. And that ball's going to be picked off, and guess who it is? Jamie Kanapke, his 3rd interception of the day. And this young man having a huge ball game. 3 INTs today. And if Jamie Kanapke doesn't get the Defensive Player of the Game award, I don't know who should. And the big guy with the crazy haircut has 3 interceptions today. And Napke doing a great job today. And he has been responsible for setting up 2 of the Raptor scores. And let's see what the Raptors do with this ball now, as they've got it back at the 41-yard line of the Lions. Lions show blitz. And they run it up the middle now. Run the counter again. Terrell Cameron spinning ahead across the 40 on the penalty. The Raptors move back 5 yards, but Terrell Cameron picks that up on that play as he gets it up to the 39-yard line. He picked up 7 on that, so he actually makes the penalty back plus a couple. And the Raptors want a timeout to talk things over. So the Raptors hopefully have things figured out on offense, whatever was concerning Coach Ron Peterson. Hedrick runs play action. Now he's rolling away from pressure. Still on his feet. He's going to keep it across the 40, 30, down to the 24-yard line. And Bryce Hedrick doing a nice job. When he has to run the ball, he's pretty effective at it.
Play was good for 16 yards. Concession has given a special announcement for pizza at half price. That's only $2. Once again,
and if you're not feasting enough here on the football, we're informed that pizza is only $2 at the concession stand. That's always good to know. So Bryce Hedrick waits for the call from Rob Rosano coming in from the sidelines. And he will bring his team up to the 25-yard line. And Hedrick under center now. Handed right out the middle. Dan Duran still carrying the ball in there for Damian Brown. And actually that's not true. Damian Brown being replaced by Terrell Cameron. And then they simply shift Jason Sovereign over to that slot back position where Cameron normally is. And Dan Duran fills the fullback position. So the Lions... There's a flag on the play. I'm not exactly sure. They're going to say Eaglecrest jumped again. The Lions were up showing blitz again. And, well, no, it's not. It's a delay of game penalty again. So that's 2 delay of game penalties now. The Raptors taking too much time to get the play off. And that moves the ball back to the 28-yard line. And the Raptors will work from there. And they run the counter around to Terrell Cameron. Got a lead block out there. Gets it down to the 20-yard line. And a great block downfield. Matt Conti, number 78, And number 63. It can't be number 63. I didn't catch the number. But another good block downfield on the offensive line.
3rd and 4 from the Littleton.
Might very well have been number 67, Owen Bradshaw, as Bradshaw is everywhere. Jason McQueen into the ball game now with the play, and then he splits up to the top of your screen. Hedrick now will take a look at the Littleton D, takes the snap right up the middle. Jason Sovereign. Sovereign's going to bust through for the touchdown. Jason Sovereign right up the gut, and then he gives us his version of the touchdown dance. So we've seen everything imaginable. We've seen long scoring runs, we've seen long passes, we've seen signals for soccer goals from these young men. We've seen it all. They are just having a heck of a time playing this ball game, and that's why I like high school football so much, is these young guys just love to play the game, and some of the fans love to stand right in front of the camera, actually. So Jason Rogers, I'm not going to say anything, will attempt the PAT, and that may be the key. I just need to shut up when Jason Rogers is kicking as he drills the pipes on that one. So it's 36-19 for the Littleton Lions, and time is running out. He's still on his feet across the 30 out to the 35, ridden down there by number 45 and number 45 Adam Parker and number 78 Matt Conti.
Littleton will take a ball on the 47-yard line.
So the penalty moves the ball out to the Raptor 47-yard line. The personal foul. Buechner going deep. Courtney McHugh almost picked that ball off. It was out of bounds. Really not much of a play there. So Courtney McHugh making the good play down there, and the Raptors are back in their prevent defense as the Lions send wideouts top and bottom. Buechner's got some time to pass. Now he delivers the ball, almost picked off again. Trey Miller that time was the defensive back in the area. So 3rd down and 10 now after 2 incomplete passes. Buechner will send 3 men wide to the top, 1 to the bottom. Nobody in the backfield with him. They send it out of bounds. Incomplete. And that is a little unusual there. 3rd down and 10. He really didn't even try and send it to a receiver. So that'll bring up 4th down and 10. And Buechner has 10 yards to go.
4th and 10 from the Raptor 47.
And of course the Lions going for it as they trail. Buechner back to pass. Now he sends it down there. Oh, and it's caught right between the 2 Raptor defenders all the way down to the 2-yard line. Give credit there. They spot the ball back at the 4. But give credit there. Great concentration by the Lion receiver that time. And he pulled that ball in. So Buechner will go up under center. 1 running back in the backfield with him. Buechner looking for, now he delivers, and it goes incomplete. Buechner sends it over the corner. It's going to go out of bounds. Courtney McHugh, the defender over there. Buechner will get one more crack at this. Going into the end zone. And it gets hauled in.
Touchdown, Lions. That was given to number 81, Matt.
And the Lions elect to go for the 2-point conversion now. And it's a 36-27 ball game. And they set up to get the onside kick. Ball has to travel 10 yards now before the Lions can touch it. And there's 10, takes a big bounce out of bounds, and the Raptors will have the ball back at the 44-yard line. And Hedrick now. So Bryce Hedrick back to the 40-yard line. And penalty flags. They're saying motion against the Raptors. So that will move the ball back. And the Raptor faithful express their displeasure with the call. Lions show blitz. And Hedrick runs the safe play, just kneeling down, and another flag on the penalty. Apparently the officials mistakenly assuming they get paid by the call instead of by the ball game.
Oh, come on.
And now we've just got people all over the place. The Lions kind of venting their frustrations. And I thought maybe the official was signaling he was throwing somebody out of the ball game. And they didn't. So Littleton now probably will have somebody thrown out of the ball game, as the Raptors not happy about it. The officials trying to send, and they do send number 50 for the Lions out of the ball game. And the officials have lost control of this, to be quite honest with you. And number 50, when you're thrown out of the ball game, you have to leave the playing field. He has to actually go get on the bus. He's not allowed on the field. And of course the Lions are upset. Their season is over. A lot of these guys will never play probably organized football again. And this is a tough way to go out, getting thrashed by Eaglecrest. Of course, this is bittersweet for the Raptors because Littleton has knocked them out of the playoffs in the past, and now they get the chance to knock them out of the playoffs. And the Raptor faithful will count it down to a perfect, undefeated 10-0 regular season mark by the Raptors. And it goes in the record books. The 1993 Eaglecrest Varsity Raptors football team is 10-0, the #1 seed in the Continental Metro League. And you see the celebration as the fans and the players spill out onto the field along with the cheerleaders. This is Matt Cook along with Eric Robinson for this amateur sports video production. We've enjoyed doing these regular season games for you. And of course the Booster Club makes this all possible. And we will see everybody in the playoffs when the Raptors should have a good shot at it. Good night, everybody.